You came at my fan. But you're going to be respectful. I'm going to match energy. And not only am I going to match energy, nigga, I'm not going to tolerate any of his bullshit. He is going to be blocked again. Right? Like the fact that this dude can just be so disgusting. If he ain't going to respect me, my name's BXBeastBoy. You can call me Beast, BX, whatever you feel comfortable with. But all that other shit, yeah, like I'm not with it. But hurry up, because I got to finish this video and we got another video after this. Give me 1 second. Let me put this banner up. Let's put this up. Before you even start talking, let me explain the rules real quick for the conversation. Before you even start jibber jabbing, just let me explain the rules and then we could take turns and go back and forth. You understand that?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to keep it as cordial as possible. Right? I'm not even going to start a name calling. We could have a genuine conversation. We could actually attempt this. I'm just going to ask you to respect me and not fucking blur out my government name just because you're mad. If you want to call me something, you can address me as BX, Beast Boy, Beast, whatever pertaining to my channel name. You can even call me Garfield if that makes you more comfortable. Or sir, whatever. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Guy, dude, bro, whatever you feel comfortable. But blurting out my government is not okay with me. And I made that clear multiple times. If you can respect that, we can have this conversation. You can ask me whatever you like. I got some questions for you, but it seems like you wanted some questions first, so I'll give you the floor if you could be respectful.
No, I'm going to let you talk first because last time you talked over me.
So you came into my stream and called in to let me talk first. All right, so let me ask you questions. Why did you call into the stream or even pop up in the stream that's not about you?
I'm sorry, say that again? Did you say moron?
I did. Whoa. Okay, I don't know if you like either really crazy, misheard me, or are you just doing that just so you can have an excuse to start being nasty? I did not say that.
No, I said say that again.
Yeah, I didn't say that at any point.
Okay, then say it again.
I'm trying to. I think it's maybe StreamYard messing up. Okay. My statement was that if this stream isn't about you, it's not me roasting you or coming at you in this stream. Why would you come in and talk crap and call in if this ain't even me coming at you? Why are you here?
Well, you upload how many videos per day? First of all, answer that.
In general, I would say probably over 10.
And how many in the last 2 weeks about me?
I would say less than 5.
Oh, there you go. Got my attention. That's why I'm here.
All right. So I made less than 5 videos out of, you said in the last week.
Even if it was one.
Oh, no, wait, sir. You said we was going to take time. You said we was going to take turns. Let's take turns. I want to be clear on what your statement was. So if I made less than 5 videos out of, let's do the math. You said about a week, right? A week's time. That's about 7 days. More than 10. So let's just say average at 12. 12 times 7. What's 12 times 7 say, Robbie?
I don't fucking know.
It's fine.
Why are you asking me?
No, I wanted to include you. You know what I mean? So it's not just a one-way conversation. I would say 84. So out of 84 videos, less than 5 was about you, and that's enough for you to call into
one is enough.
That's not about you. Okay, one is enough.
You know why?
So hold on.
How many times have I spoke about you in the last 2 years?
Sir, let's take turns, man. I'm perfectly fine with this. And yes, you haven't spoken about me out of the last 2 years for a while. In fact, we both haven't spoken about each other for a while. But this is the exact chain of events. And tell me if maybe you read it wrong or someone sent you something. I did a video that didn't even have your name in it, right? It wasn't about you in any way, shape, or form. I made some statements during the video that was correction based off of my opinion. And you reacted to that and started making long streams doing clapbacks because I made a statement. So I responded to your clapbacks and then turned that into videos. And me saying I made multiple videos is really just me making like maybe 1 or 2 and then cutting it into clips and then releasing it on my BXBeastBoy extra channel where I release clips of my live streams. But still, be that as may, I think that you were being extremely sensitive that I can't even mention your name. I didn't do a video on you at this point before you started doing videos on me recently, right? We're talking about just from us not talking about each other for a while. I just mentioned you, but I can guarantee that you've been on other live streams, maybe not even yours, mentioning me throughout the years, whether it was just shade here and there. And that's okay, say Robbie. That's perfectly fine. That's your right. The only difference is I'm not going to react in the manner that you're reacting. And also, everything that I'm doing now is just me reacting to you. I'm not just bringing you up out the blue. Someone brought your name up out the blue, and I gave my opinion, and I moved on. Your name wasn't in the title. Your name wasn't in the tags, but you've done multiple streams with my name in the title and tags since then. So I would say out of the two of us, it's you that's more eager to rekindle whatever you think this is. And honestly, it's not a beef. I don't got no problems with you.
Well, you do though.
Are you saying that
because I don't mind videos? Like I don't, you know how many people make videos about me? It's not that. It's like, what is your, you have so much anger. Even before you instigated me, when I first found out who you were, you had made like so many videos and I wouldn't have even gave a shit. But it was your aggression. So what is your aggression behind that?
Robbie, I think that that's a misinterpretation. I also think that maybe it's because we come from, and this is me giving you leeway. So before you just notice that this is me actually doing you slight favor here and saying that maybe it's because we come from different places. You're perceiving me in a light that might be aggressive when it's just me cracking jokes and having fun. That's a possibility. Other than that, if it's not that,
no, I don't think so.
Okay, so if it's not that, then you're just crazy, right? Because I could tell you the old shade of events. The first time that I even mentioned you, and mind you, you might feel the type of way because you changed or you're not who you used to be from years ago, right? Which is perfectly fine. But I was introduced to you in a clip where you were going crazy. And
yeah, a night that I relapsed after people were tormenting me for a year and you didn't look into that.
No, I did. And I understand. But let me get the whole point out though. Right.
Okay.
Without me knowing much, I was able to look at that clip and say, okay, he's going through it. He might be on something right now. Your issue at the time, I don't know if it was so long ago, was that you said I was lying on you and just made it up and all this other stuff. And I was like, yo, I just gave my opinion. And then I started responding to you with the same energy you responded to me. Also, I do want to state that once you started to strike my videos, and then contact me after you strike my videos, where I come from, which I keep trying to tell you, maybe it's because we come from different places. That's a bully tactic. That's a way for you to try to shut me up. Oh yeah, let's talk after I made an attack on your channel. Now we can talk privately. When honestly, we could have talked publicly, privately. It was never an issue. Laura or even Molly Go Lightly has more of an understanding. I would say maybe Molly Go Lightly has more of an understanding of what I do is just talk about things that's current or what my supporters want to hear about and crack jokes. It's never personal, right? I think you make it personal when you react in the way that you do. And I think that it would be dishonest and you wouldn't have shown any growth if you can't admit that your reactions to some things previously weren't off the rails, bro.
Well, and I understand that. But what I would like for you to understand is you were not the first person. What you don't realize is before the first time you discovered me, I was completely like nicotine, drugs, alcohol, 2 weeks short of a year. And I had people making videos about me the entire year. And I ignored most of them. They were making fun of, because I would vlog, for the first 6 weeks of that journey, I would get up in the morning at like 6 a.m. I would jog. I would post videos because it was helping me. And like after the whole mommy ramblings thing, which by the way, I never dragged her son ever until that night that I relapsed. So the whole year it was building up and building up. And finally I was like, you know what, motherfuckers, you don't know the struggle. And I went and I bought a 12 case of beer and I got a hotel room and I just went ape shit on everybody. And so a lot of that aggression was probably just from like the people that know me know that entire year I did great. I put up with shit. I wasn't a victim, but you know, I made my journey public. So of course people were going to hate on it. And so when I discovered you, I was like, dude, I've never even met this guy. I'm going through a hard fucking time. I was disappointed in myself. And it was nobody else's fault but myself, by the way, because I can't blame that on other people for, you know, making videos and stuff. But I just snapped and I gave in. I abused myself. And it was frustrating seeing the reaction after that of like people not looking into what led up to that. And then it like now it doesn't bug me. But my question is like, even like the other day, you're like, oh, he's on that stuff. Like, you know, because my main problem was meth. And it's like, why do you even have to take those digs? Like, why can't we just talk?
Sorry. So say, Robbie, this is what I got to call you out on this. You acknowledged to yourself while you was reacting to my video the other day that even when I said that, I also stated directly after, I do not know this to be true. You confirmed it to be true. So if that's the case, how was it a dig if I didn't have any knowledge of it and also stated it? Well, that was just you taking it personal because you have the knowledge of it.
Right. But I mean, to me, it was a dig because I was very open back then about that being the main struggle. So I felt that this is just my feeling. You may have intended it differently, but I felt like that was like, ooh, yeah, you know, just like trying to poke. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I'll be honest, like back when it was fresh. Well, I appreciate that. Back when it was fresh, that really used to, not just you, I'm not just saying you, but anybody that would say anything like that, it really hurt my feelings. And then of course I would snap and people would be like, oh, he's being a crybaby and whatever. And I really was being a crybaby because I made myself vulnerable by making it public and then also getting people's reactions that didn't like me or wanted to make it worse. And I did take it very personal. And it did, whether, you know, I'm a crybaby or not, that's what it was at the time. I was definitely hurt by those words.
So wait, to be clear, you are taking accountability of that. Your reaction made it even worse when people just gave you criticism of what you put out there.
Well, in a sense, you're kind of getting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I was very hurt at the time because before I had relapsed back then, I was really walking a thin wire near the end. I was just like, dude, like, why am I doing this? Why am I online? Which I shouldn't have been. Why am I sharing this experience with people when, you know, the majority of people were kind, but even if it was one person, two people, if you've ever struggled with any sort of addiction, it hits you like an asteroid and you're just like, and I just kept trying to go. And then finally one night I snapped and that's when you discovered me. And from there for probably 6 months after that, probably to a year, I was dealing with being angry at people for, you know, it sounds childish, but teasing me for it. And I was also angry at myself because I gave in to my problems. So it was a lot of different things.
So you are taking accountability though to your side of it, of not just me, I'm saying in general, of around that time frame of you not being okay. So then from that, can you are you willing to admit that maybe some of the criticism that people were giving you wasn't even that harsh, especially with now you knowing and speaking to me? I didn't know up until last week that you had any issue with meth or anything beyond alcohol.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that you might have taken a lot of stuff that I might have said way too harsher than what the hell it actually was. So from my perspective, it looks like you're just losing your fucking mind. And now I have no other choice but to just respond or react or roast in the best of my ability as long as it fits in guidelines. Right. Like, especially from where I come from, I'm telling you, like the way that you first approached me of striking me first and then reaching out. Where I come from, we handle that way fucking differently. Like, it's certain things that you say and do that I'm just like, I don't think he's aware. Like, you say that you might know, and I think you're just talking shit. Like when you say I live with my mom and all this other shit. Like, I haven't lived with my mom since I was 16 years old. I've been on my own since. I was homeless for a while in some group homes, but I'm pretty independent. My mom is really proud of that. In fact, I've taken my live stream on the way to go see my mom's. I try to visit her at least 3 times a week and to call her once, maybe I would say every other day, if not every day. But because of where I come from, certain things you would say, I'm taking it like, what the fuck is he talking about? I crack a few jokes and now you're willing to get this personal. Like, no one knew my government name until you started blurting it out and yelling it in response to us going back and forth on a live stream. And then, like, if you're saying like how you felt, heard about certain things recently, when I spoke about it and your response was to say it again and then tell people everyone knows when no one knew, but you was the first one to put that out. And you're well aware that you obtained this information of my government name from sending a copyright. You got this information from me from sending a copy. So from my perspective, I gave you criticism, was cracking jokes, laughing, also stated multiple times that whatever that might have been too far, like if I said meth head or he's on that stuff or anything, I also would state, I don't actually know, right? I'm just talking crap, right? For you to, in response to attack my channel or try to strike down the video, not because I was using your content, but just because you was like disagreed or you felt like I was coming at you with disrespect, that's not a proper reason to copyright somebody, as well as you took that information that you obtained from that and started making personal attacks and then went beyond that. You passed my information around to other YouTubers. And now from there, I've been harassed and attacked. Or maybe you might not take it as attack. But when people are posting my mugshot and not telling people the truth of how I was assaulted and actually won that case, but then making it seem like I'm a supervillain, and they got the information because you gave it to them. You gave them my personal information that you obtained from a copyright that I still don't think was valid. You have to understand how I feel like pretty much it's a one-sided attack here. And I'm just defending myself and literally just cracking jokes in return. You send a grenade, I send a joke. You send a shot, I send a joke.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things to respond to there. So I'll kind of start with the beginning of what you're talking about. And I completely understand that, you know, because we all make jokes. I have a very dark sense of humor. But I think to you, I can understand now listening to you, I can understand how it could have been just, you know, you were just making commentary and trying to be funny. And I can respect that looking back and listening to what you just said. At the time,
you've heard me defend you, right? Even previously, before we're speaking now, you've heard me defend you multiple times, right?
I haven't, but I'll take you for your word on that.
I remember you doing a video where you heard me speak on, what's her name? Mommy Ramblings, and how she was a lying bitch and how she was trying to use people. So you did hear me defend you.
No, I mean, I agree. She is a lying bitch, but
the subject matter was on her saying those things and accusations towards you.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to get me to attack you.
Right. No, so and I appreciate that if you did. I don't know, but I will recognize and say I appreciate that.
Well, it was a while ago. I remember you reacted to it and was telling Molly how you did appreciate it back then. So that's why I thought you recalled it.
Well, I mean, the beginning of my, I've done a lot of videos. The beginning of my second sobriety journey was, it was a lot of apologizing. It was a lot of blur stuff. And then I started doing this stuff with Mexi, that was after Mexi because you missed that whole thing. But anyways, back to, I can respect that. Like, it was a joke and I didn't recognize that because at the time I was feeling disappointed in myself. I was feeling, I had relapsed. Like, that's a really shitty feeling, especially when you go such a long time. And I was angry. So yeah, I could recognize that I took it differently than you had intended. And as far as the strikes, I had struck multiple people and I had said it on a lot of my live streams. I was like, look, guys, I don't copyright strike, but if anybody's using my content to knock my sobriety, I'm fucking striking you. And I remember when I struck you.
False strike. You do know. I don't want to interrupt, but you do know that's a false strike. You're admitting that right now. Because they talk about your sobriety is not false copyright. That's not a copyright violation because they talked about your sobriety.
Well, actually, if you're going to get into the depths of it, if you're going to take that to court, and I spoke to my attorney about this because when I had my attorney about AJ, she had been doing way worse than you did to me as far as not just sobriety, but false claims and all sorts of stuff. And I had to spend $5,000 on that attorney, which a lot of people donated. And it was a lot of time working with him. If you were to take something like that to actual court, and if people actually didn't have a life and they decided to do that, both of us, it would show that it's not fair use because the intent behind it. Like fair use would be to be like, it's not just pausing every 30 seconds. It's not just doing commentary. It's also being unbiased. That's part of fair use and having an opinion when it's going directly towards, and I don't mean to get into this whole thing, but I'm just explaining to you from my view, especially from my experience, my attorney and stuff. It goes beyond the copyright into, harassing a vulnerable individual. And you and I may disagree on that because you don't see it like that. It was a joke. But, at that time, like even when I look back at that time and you're talking about it now, I'm like, has this guy watched me in the last couple of years? And then what really upset me was when you took my husband's photos. I don't know if you got it from Facebook, where you got it, and use it as your wallpaper. I was like, really, dude? I don't know if you know what my husband's been through, but he was in prison for working for the cartel and drugs, and he's cleaned up his life. And when we met, no, go ahead.
The picture, the same picture that you posted on your community tab hours before, or?
Nope. It was not the pictures of me and him. You took an actual picture it's a single picture of him. And that's from his Facebook. It's nowhere else.
Robbie, I promise you my thumbnail was a picture of both of y'all hugging.
No, I have the screenshot.
You have the screenshot of it.
Yeah.
I can pull my phone out and grab it right now. Robbie, I know for a fact it was a picture of y'all. Right now, I might have zoomed in during the stream, if that's what you're talking about, to compare him to Lex Luthor from Smallville, which I thought was hilarious. Say where he don't look like Lex Luthor from Smallville.
I never.
You watch. You never watched Smallville?
No.
Right. You never watched Smallville? Not once?
No, not once.
Great.
No, I never really watched it.
Come to you. That's crazy. Go ahead.
No, but I saw the picture. I think it's either on the left or the right, and it's his Facebook profile picture. So I was like, dude, what the fuck? It's one thing, post pictures of us or whatever, but I was like, my husband,
So you're saying you are included in that thumbnail, but then you're saying there's another picture that's a different photo that's included.
Yes.
Say, Rob, come on. If his face is public and you showing his face, why do you care what picture's being used?
Well, I think it was more because I felt like it was, no, I am, of course, but I think it was more like, dude, just keep it on me. We don't have to go to other people that are in my life because you probably don't know anything about my husband at all, but he does not. I mean, I even show him Miss Portland and he's like, oh my God, please turn her off. I don't like the YouTube drama. He does not. You would probably get along with him.
I'm glad you said that, man. And we should keep family members out of it. So why did you mention my mother multiple times? Hey guys, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Now, if you have some extra time, can you do me a favor? Check out my music. I rap, I sing, and I make beats. All of that should be linked in the description. Also, if you want to watch me live stream, you can check me out on BXBeastBoy Live. That's another YouTube channel. It should be linked to my homepage. And you can check me out on Twitch and Rumble. I'm streaming on all these platforms, man. trying to just get out there. Also, if you want to support me, you can sign up for my memberships on my channel, as well as my Patreon for as low as $1. You get exclusive access to a bunch of videos early before you even get it on YouTube, as well as videos that's not ever going to be on YouTube, stuff that actually got me suspended and banned. It's kind of my anti-cancel culture fund for BXBeastBoy. You know what I mean? And it also helps me get resources for certain video essays and things of that nature. Check that out if you're able to. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and join my Discord if you are able to, man. The link should be somewhere within my description or somewhere on my channel. I would really love to see you there, man. That's where you get a chance to talk to me and the rest of my supporters, man. I appreciate you guys. Bang Gang out.